everyone, ocean conservation and marine life expert Jaclyn Friedlander here, and today I have a special guest with me.
Hi, I'm Juan Bagnall from SomeGadgetGuy. I usually talk about consumer electronics and tech and toys, but I'm really excited to be talking about some ocean stuff.
Yay, and we are at the Santa Monica Pier Aquarium with Jackie Cannata.
Hello.
Today we are going to learn about horn sharks and swell sharks. So Jackie, what do you have for us?
All right, so the two types of sharks we have here, which are local to the Santa Monica Bay, are, like Jaclyn said, our horn sharks and our swell sharks. So the swell sharks, they get their name because their defense mechanism is when they're really scared, they can actually swim into crevices and then they can suck in water to swell up to be the size of about a soccer ball or a volleyball. If the predator tries to pull it out, it's stuck there. So that's how they defend themselves and get their name swell shark.
So the name isn't just because we think they're nifty.
No, I mean, hey, it works both ways, which is pretty awesome.
Those sharks are swell.
Pretty much. The other ones, which are slightly smaller and kind of have that polka dot look to them, those are called our horn sharks. Yeah, they actually have two tiny spikes on their dorsal or their back fins. Okay. They're sticking out there, and that's the way that they defend themselves. So if a predator tries to eat them, spit that out, those spikes will hopefully protect those horn sharks. So sharks are really cool animals because they have multiple ways of reproducing. These two actually lay eggs, and we have their two really unique egg cases if you want to check them out. Also called mermaid purses. This one, the one that's really smooth, is from the swell shark, and it's supposed to look like a blade of kelp. So it blends in. And then this one is the horn shark egg case. So it has that spiral shape because the horn sharks generally like to live in the sandy bottom habitat. And so this spiral can just kind of naturally get wedged in the sand so that it can stay hidden.
How long do sharks sort of mature in egg cases like this?
That's a really great question, and it always surprises people, but it will take them about 8 to 10 months, which is about the same time as a human baby. Right. And at the very end, when they're ready to come out, they'll poke their noses out through the bottom. And in the egg case, they also have, at least the swell sharks, they have two little modified horns on their noses so that they can poke through, and then they lose those afterwards. All right, so if you guys actually want to follow me over here, we could have a special treat. So usually, if you notice the signs, we don't let people of the public or anyone touch the sharks. People mostly think that it's because they're gonna bite us.
They're like apex predators right here.
Right, exactly. Right? But are you guys scared of these? Do these look scary? These ones are actually puppy dogs, and sadly, sharks have a really bad reputation. Most sharks are either small and harmless, like these two species. So we usually, for our birthday parties, we reserve the really special shark touch, and for you all, because we want you to experience and show your viewers that, hey, these sharks, they're not scary, they're actually quite nice. The real reason we don't have people touch our sharks usually is because they're sleeping during the day. They're nocturnal. So they sleep during the day and they're awake at night.
Oh, I see the horn now too.
Yeah, and
there's the horn.
If we have people of the public touching them all the time, then they would get really scared. And if they're scared, they might be able to jump out of the tank, and that would not be good for these animals.
No.
So yeah, she's nice and mellow. This is our female horn shark.
I totally see now, like that would be a bad day to try
to bite that. Yeah, all right. They don't have normal scales like all other types of fish. Their scales are called dermal denticles. So dermal meaning skin, like you go to a dermatologist, and then denticles, like dentist, as your teeth. So they're actually teeth skin. So if you looked at shark skin under a microscope, it would just be a whole bunch of teeth-looking structures facing one direction. So that's their modified scales. It's really great for, like you said, they're apex predators. It helps them glide through the water and have the water move over those scales really nice and easily.
Cool.
Obviously, the only time you're going to hear about sharks in the news are for scary situations.
Exactly. Right, which is why we're here, which is why we want to spread the news and have people have positive experiences with sharks and rays so that they know that, hey, these aren't monsters. These are actually really beautiful and smart and amazing animals that actually need our protection. And like you said earlier, they're apex predators, which means they're at the top of the food chain. So if we're messing with them, if we're taking so many of them away, we're not only hurting their species, but we're also affecting the entire food chain.
Thank you so much. This was really interesting.
You're welcome.
It's amazing.
If you want weekly ocean and conservation information, click subscribe.
And you can join me, Juan Bagnall, on SomeGadgetGuy to talk about all your favorite tech, toys, gadgets, and gizmos.
See you next Friends with Fins Friday. Thanks for watching.